a celebration, Senior Day, as we'll see a squad from the SEC, the South Carolina Gamecocks, taking on the fourth-ranked team in the land, the Clemson Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Gamecocks will kick it off to get us underway. On the move from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So the Clemson Tigers offense will get the first possession of the game. This rivalry can fly under the radar from time to time, but trust me, the Gamecocks and Tigers do not like each other.
No, and it doesn't fly under the radar to the people in South Carolina, because there's always a debate of Clemson versus South Carolina and bragging rights fully on the line.
What's fun about this game is that someone gets to play spoiler. And in recent years, we've seen Clemson in the national championship picture late in the year. Regardless of what South Carolina's record is, they are trying to ruin Clemson's season.
And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down. Clemson just put a beat down on the Gamecocks the last time these two met.
Yeah, it wasn't even close, and Clemson's talent being far superior dominated Cocky. They got to have an answer this time, Jesse. They were embarrassed a year ago.
South Carolina just has to start faster. You're not going to beat a team like Clemson with all of their athletes if you're sleepwalking out of the tunnel.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. Couldn't make the connection on first down. Now here on second. Let's go! On the option. rivalry dates back to 1896. It's been a little bizarre with the chicken curse, and it's a bit unusual, too, because the state school, South Carolina, isn't the perennial football power.
No, but it's kind of had its ebbs and flows, a little bit back and forth, some great coaches on both sides, but the in-state hate is beautiful.
You know, there's a lot of great rivalries, especially down in the South and the Deep South. This is one of the better ones, though, because you just never know what the outcome is going to be.
Clemson will send the punt team out. First one's on its way. The leg ought to be strong. Only called on twice in the victory last week. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. So the South Carolina Gamecocks offense will take the field for the first time. One matchup to watch in this one is how well do the backers tackle in space, David.
Yeah, and you've got to have great linebackers to get this guy on the ground, and they've got it. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, a lot of head-to-head battles, linebacker versus running back.
Yeah, tackling him in space, but also covering him.
Afterburners coming at the 20. The tackle is made, but he's got it first and goal from the 6.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact.
And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Gamecocks! And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
And he'll bring it out of the end zone. He stopped at the 23, a couple yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They got it on offense. They just didn't quite find the rhythm on that last drive, Jesse. They had to punt it.
I think they got to be more physical, David. I think up front they got to do a better job getting blocks and establishing this running game.
And how easy does football become if you're the more physical team? If you can threaten the run and then run play action, it opens up the whole offense at your disposal.
And the incompletion brings up a second down for this offense. He's looking to throw. Fires to the right. Makes a connection. He gets those chains moving, gets it out to the 42-yard line. Clemson has just been prolific at the receiver position. More scheme or more talent? I'd argue it's both. And that pass intercepted. Got some room to run. He'll go out of bounds, but he gets the ball back, takes it the other way, and he has created a great sudden change opportunity. And the Gamecocks trying to pay off the threat on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Second and goal coming up. Wants to throw. It's Turner. Getting some heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
Oftentimes defenses see empty sets, and that's when they want to dial up pressure, knowing there's no extra bodies back there to protect the quarterback. They were able to get to him on that one, and that's why the ball was in.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. And now on fourth down, they'll try a field goal. Between the uprights, it's good. And that will extend their lead even further. After putting up a 3-spot, the kickoff unit set to go.
Well, they're able to get a field goal and put 3 points up on the board after getting that interception. You would have liked to have seen the offense do a little bit more with that possession, give themselves an opportunity to score a touchdown. But listen, teams will take 3 points any way they can get it.
First down for this offense. He'll start this drive firing. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And a nice pickup on the run and gets down to avoid contact. Clemson is quick to the line. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
They'll immediately call timeout.
Timeout, Clemson.
Offense gets set for second down. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. On second down, he'll let it fly. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
Well, it's a simple play. QB's just looking for his big fella, the tight end, and he couldn't reel it in.
They couldn't make the connection on second down. Now a 3rd and 7 to keep the drive alive. Throwing right. He makes the catch. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time. Unleashes one deep. And makes the grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers. PAT unit on the field. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. They put together a 5-play, 75-yard drive. And they pay it off with a strike from 38 yards out. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Looking for blockers. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
And I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. They try to pop a run on the draw. That may not look like a huge run, but they'll take it as it gets them up to the 24.
Offensive linemen love when you sneak in draws, when you sneak in screens. It holds these defensive linemen accountable. You want to rush the quarterback, you're going to fly upfield every single play. We'll sneak right behind you and get some yardage.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. The Gamecocks will bring the punt team onto the field. They'll look to pin him deep. Gets the first one of the day off and hoping he's not as busy as he was in that loss last week when he kicked it 4 times. Makes a move. Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. That last touchdown drive was surgical through the air, Jesse.
It sure was, and that's why this offense is so dangerous, David, because they can score in a hurry because of how efficient they are throwing the football.
Lost one deep down the right side. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
I think the biggest issue in the passing game for this offense has been accuracy, right? The last time this guy took the field, he completed less than 50% of his throws, and you're seeing that again in this game. Just hasn't been able to put the ball where he wants it to go.
The freshman just a little too much on that one.
Well, the good news is he did a nice job reading the coverage. He knew exactly where to go with the football that time. Just a little bit too much on that pass. You wonder if that's just nerves. He's got to settle himself down a little bit.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. Gets open down the middle. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short.
All right, we got the completion. We got some yardage. We got some positive yards. Now we're in 4th and manageable. And you dang right. We're going for this puppy. We got our 4th down play ready to roll. We're calling it in.
Now on the move. The Tigers get enough for the first down.
You know, you kind of get stuck in no man's land once you get across that 50-yard line where it might be a long field goal, which isn't really high percentage. or do I go for it on 4th down? I like to go for it, personally. I like the aggressiveness. They go for it, and they get the big first down.
Feeling some heat. It's a fumble. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
And the defense able to get pressure to the quarterback, and they've got everybody trying to swipe at the football, and the impact on the hit sometimes jars the ball loose. Great job with the pass rush, and a better job forcing a turnover.
They'll throw it on 1st down. Pulls it in. It's Best. And an explosive play. Has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line. And now a fresh set of downs for this offense. Going up top on 1st down. Quick completion on the out. Brought down at the 38. It's a pickup of 10 and a 1st down.
And a really good job by the quarterback being very decisive. He saw his matchup. He went for it. He attacked it. Got the positive gain. I would say he's going to find that guy a few more times today.
They work that running game down to the 34. Let's give him 3 on the carry.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
Dropping back, it's Turner. Fires to the big fella. And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the 1st down. Ever since they invented the forward pass, the tight ends have been running the drag and getting the 1st down.
I think it's because the tight ends, is so much versatility. You know, they can block and stay in the formation, or they can release and come out. But either way, if the quarterback's patient, most of the time, that drag route's going to come over.
He's brought down, but he's got him inside the 10. 1st and goal from the 8.
Stop me when you've heard this before. 1st down. 1st down. 1st down. Just continuing to put 1st downs together. So far, this defense just can't find any answers.
The snap sets up the throw. He caught it! And the defense forces him to step out at the 3.
He runs out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Brings up 2nd and goal.
We're through 1, and what a back-and-forth battle between these two quarterbacks as we look at the stats.
Carolina, 10.
They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. On 2nd down, he'll fire. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
And anytime you hit the quarterback, man, you make him think, you speed up the processor a little bit, and that's the 3rd on the day. This is a unit, actually, that does a good job of that. They're in the top 25 in the country at getting the quarterback on the ground.
Here he goes breaking the pocket. Get every inch you can, but don't take the big hit. Great job by the quarterback. And they'll send the field goal team back out for the 2nd time tonight. No good. It's still a 3-point game after the miss.
Well, everybody in the stadium thought that was an automatic 3. Not so fast. Bad miss by the kicker.
The option look. He'll toss it. Into the pile, maybe got one. He stopped at the 21. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. Catch in the middle. It's Powell. Brought down at the 31 after a pickup of 10 yards on that one.
The #1 goal as a defense is try to hit the QB as many times as possible. Try to rattle him. Try to get him flustered a little bit. Nice job getting there, getting the hit on him, but nice job of executing by the quarterback. Taking the hit, delivering the strike.
Trying to find his man on 1st down. He'll try to do it himself. Gets down at the last possible second to avoid getting lit up. Clemson jumps to the line.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. The big pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and 1. He's looking to throw. It's complete to the right. Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Fires to the right. And just left. Not enough juice on that one. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. He'll do it himself. They finally make the stop, but the big run is ready to move those sticks for the first down. The Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. He's going to pass. Got his man downfield. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. Clemson now operating in the red zone. The RPO, it's complete.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when we start getting those long yardage situations.
They get him on the ground after he gets enough to move the sticks.
Well, you're down here in the red zone. You know you've got to be able to run the football. So good call going with the toss play. Nice blocking up front. Good patience by the back finding his crease.
Clemson will come to the line with the 1st and goal. On the option. The pitch. And they get to him just in time and ride him out of bounds at the 1.
I know the passing game sells, the passing game is exciting, but it's not exciting to get 5 or 6 yards a pop on the ground, but it will be very successful.
Looking for just 1 more yard. It's 2nd and goal. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Clemson! Man, did he show some hops for that one.
Some serious vertical right there. I'll tell you what, everybody in front of you, hey, I'll go by air if I need to. Good job getting in the air, getting a touchdown.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. You want to talk about taking the wind out of your sails. Drive the ball down the field and miss the field goal, David.
You know what? Don't leave it up to kickers. Execute better offensively. I think you move the ball nice. You got to keep that in mind. But, Palmer, I think you got to stay aggressive and don't settle for field goals.
Yeah, because you got to know there's just no margin for error right now. You just have got to be able to execute at a higher level.
And the pass falls harmlessly to the ground. We'll see if the laundry is as harmless. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. They'll operate out of split backs. Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. Unloads to the right. Rolls it in. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30. Whole situation changed after that last big play. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 39. Pulls it and fires to the left.
One of the most difficult things about this slot receiver is his shiftiness and his athleticism. He's very, very difficult to tackle after the catch.
This offense has a 2nd down play. Here's the handoff. And the Gamecocks pick up the 1st down.
And most importantly, they got the first. They've been getting pushed around up front this game and haven't created a lot of lanes to run the football, but you needed it. You needed that first down. You needed to get the sticks moving. You need to run some clock, so good job by the offense finding a little bit of space to get the first down.
And the ball is picked off, bringing it back at the 30. Past the 10. Touchdown, Clemson. A great return for the touchdown. Any return for a touchdown is a great one to a defense. What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we turn to offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is good, and they have an 11-point lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Two very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Oregon delivered maybe its most thorough thumping in years in a game that featured a ton of big plays, not unlike the way Michael James, Kenyon Barner, and Jonathan Stewart used to do it. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way. But I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there, Kevin. Thanks for the update.
And those physical runs take a toll. It might not be a big game now, but down the road, third, fourth quarter, late in the ball games, they tend to turn into bigger runs.
They'll try the run. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
That's a great individual play, and I love cornerbacks that don't just take pride in covering guys. I like guys that like to put their face in the fan and affect the running game. This dude is physical, and he impacts the defense because of it.
And those guys are really hard to find. A lot of corners, they're smaller. They don't want any part of the physical run game. Nice job sticking his face in there, setting the edge, making the tackle.
The Gamecocks decide to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. No fair catches here, looking for room. Looking everywhere for room to run, but really good coverage, and he'll step out of bounds. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. On that last drive, defense had no idea what was happening, run or pass, and it wound up in the end zone, Jesse.
Yeah, you saw the experience.
He'll off one deep down the left side. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. Back to the line after the incompletion. 2nd and 10 from the 37. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Got his man. Brings him down at the 48. It's a gain of 15 and a first down. Clemson is quick to the line. Comes out throwing on first down. Trying to escape and get it himself. Fires into traffic. Intercepted. Trying to take it back. He'll finally go out of bounds, but he was showing off all the skills after that interception.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Unloads to the wideout. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach.
Man, as a quarterback, you've got to be careful. He's lucky there. If you miss high throwing over the middle of the field, oftentimes that results in interception. So lucky that ball was incomplete.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing and you've got guys swiping at it, you've got to have 2 hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job with ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Mistakes are going to happen, as they did on that last drive. Now, how will they respond, Jesse?
And this is the kind of guy who's going to take full accountability. That was my bad. That's on me. I'm about to lead this offense now down the field to score some points.
Dang, Palmer, I wish I would have played with you. I didn't play with many quarterbacks that were just like, yeah, my bad. Hey, guys, I got this. Sorry about that. It was more, you should have ran a better route.
They'll spread the defense out, going 5 wide on 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. That's caught. It's Garrett.
Take the profit, right? Pitch and catch. Defense and zone coverage. Receivers got some access. Just spit it out to him. Let him catch it, advance, and get what he can get.
Clemson trying to put its paws on a productive red zone trip. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. He's got it. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal. Timeout called by the offense, and now they just have one remaining in the half. Let's see what Clemson comes up with on first and goal. Here's the snap, looking to throw. And it's caught! Touchdown, Tigers! And it looks as if they buzzed down. Replay wants to have another peek at that last play. So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. Can the D deny them on second and goal? Quarterback keeps it. Touchdown, Tigers! And they take it in for 6 more points. That touchdown gives his team a pretty significant lead at this point.
And that's what you want. You want to start fast. You want everything to come out, start clicking, make some plays. It doesn't always work that way, but when you do, man, the energy, the crowd, everybody's into it. Now the other team better respond.
And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. As it turns out, the fumble on that last drive set up the touchdown, David.
And there's no bigger stat in football than turnovers. You turn the football over, they turn it into points. Jesse, that is not a recipe for success.
Good news, though, they get another chance, right? They can make amends with this drive right here. That's all that's important. You've got to execute and you've got to lock in.
Let's see what they've got on second down. To throw, it's Turner. They're bringing heat. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. The defense going to stop the clock with the timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. And the Gamecocks send out the punt unit. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Kickoff team has the ball teed up, and they're about ready to go.
South Carolina, 10.
And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get something going early here on this drive.
One play, stay aggressive. Now I think I can be even more aggressive on fourth downs because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me too.
Looking for space. It's Best. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. It'd be interesting to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
And that was some kind of collision between a couple of big bodies there, and he stopped from getting the first down. The Gamecocks will line up to punt it away. Hauls it in, looking for space. And he's going to get it up to about the 29-yard line before he's brought down. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Let's see what they have dialed up as this drive starts from the 29-yard line. He's looking to throw it. Takes a hit as he fires. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
And this offense has got to find a way to get some gimmies, some layups, some screens. They need some yak, some yards after the catch. They got to find some guys that can make some plays for this offense because it's just boom or bust. There's not a lot of consistency. They got to put some first downs together, put some drives together, be more consistent.
They'll give it to the back. Cross the 30 out to the 33 and gains 4 on the play. Third down after the run. Quarterback checking off. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. No other words. That was just a terrible throw. So Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. The last time we saw this offense, we had to look quick. It was a 3-and-out, Jesse.
They just had no rhythm in that last drive. So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards. Get some first downs. Get some positive momentum.
Line getting set on 2nd down. Dropping back, it's Turner. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
Quarterback trying to attack the middle of the field. I like the aggressive nature, but his receivers aren't 9 feet tall. No one's going to catch that. No one can climb the ladder. You got to bring it down a little bit.
Hit as he throws. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. And the senior just snatched the ball out of the air and gave it back to his offense. Line gets set, 1st down. Looking to move it through the air. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. Touchdown, Tigers! And the punishment has been extended. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. That's the kind of drive everybody loves. So see, quarterback, one snap, put it in the end zone. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. South Carolina ready to go on the attack in another offensive odyssey. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
Got 6 on 1st down. Now a lot of options on 2nd and 4. He's looking to throw. Makes his connection. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
I'll tell you what, that's great execution between the QB and receiver. They look like they could execute that throw in their sleep. Quarterback took his steps, threw it on time. Great route by the receiver. Nice job securing the catch.
The offense getting set for a 1st down from the 45. They move the tight end all over. Out of the gun, the running back has it. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
Well, they're trying to set up the screen pass to the running back, just nowhere to go after he caught the football. The defense completely swarmed around him, and that's a loss.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Trying to make magic with his feet. Short gain on the play before he slides. And the Gamecocks will try to pin them back with the punt. He's got it. He gets a block. They were playing with fire on that return, and he got loose for a good return of better than 30 yards. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Looking for a productive play on first down. The give to the back. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
I don't know, man. If I'm on defense here and I'm watching the way my D-line's getting manhandled, I might have to put more guys in the box. I might have to sacrifice his safety and try to get more hats close to the line of scrimmage to slow this running back down. Because the RPO game's been a problem.
I think you run that play so you stay out of 3rd and long. 3rd and long is not where an offense ever wants to thrive. 3rd and medium, hey, I'm good with that. So you run that play to make sure you're set up for a good 3rd down.
Let's see if the defense comes after them. 3rd and short from the 45. They'll try to bully their way for the first. They get him on the ground, but not before he gets enough for the first down.
This is an offense that really sees their identity as being able to run the football. Nice job there picking up the first down.
And the Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. They'll ride the hot hand. Crosses the 40, gets it down to the 35 before he stopped. A gain of 6.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical, they wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Deep shot for the end zone. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
Man, if you're going to win games, you have got to hit on the home run type plays, and that was a great opportunity right there. The receiver has got to be able to look that football in and make the catch.
3rd and short here from the 35. Might take a shot here if this is 4-down territory. From the gun, wants to pass. Throws to the wideout. It's caught downfield. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. Clemson set up with another first down.
Get set, get set.
Looking for a gap. It's Hines. Pulled down after a pickup of 6, but he gets it inside the red zone. It's down at the 15.
Yeah, and it's a nice decision by the quarterback when you run these RPOs. Man, if you can give it to him and you can get such positive yards like that, continue to do it. Make that defense react a different way. Then I'll throw the football.
6-yard pickup on first down. Leaves him with 2nd and 4. The pull and throw off the RPO. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. 8th play of the drive coming up. Running back searching for a hole. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
Man, when I can run the football like that on first down, it creates 2nd and inches and stay way ahead of the sticks and be in a position now where I can throw the football or run. I will have a lot of success on the offensive side of the football.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. And you can forget running in the middle against this defense.
You got to have that defense you know you can go to in running situations. Your base defense where you say, okay, this is where I'm going to start, and I'm going to stop the run, stuff it up front. My guys play big up front. And then if I need to add some blitzes to it later on down the road, I can. But great job in the base defense making a play.
Got it.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. He'll take it himself. Touchdown, Clemson! And the route is on. The Tigers putting down a big paw print right now as they start to pull away from the Gamecocks.
Man, I think you kind of get this here we go again feeling. Clemson had the upper hand in this series for a while now. Clemson always talked about, always loved South.
feel like Clemson's been winning on the recruiting trail between these two teams in the last several years now, and I think that's really starting to show itself on the field today.
Offense set on first down. From the gun, the running back has it. And they drag him down, but not before he picks up the first down.
And a great job by the offensive line. If you're going to run the ball right at the middle, you better control the line of scrimmage. You can see the center, the guard, the tackle's doing a good job getting on their guys just enough where this running back can get into space and make the big gain.
We've come to the end of the quarter, and Clemson has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. They'll snap it from the 36. They've got a first down. He wants to throw. Dances away from the heat. And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to a close. They'll snap it from the 25 here on 2nd and long. He's looking to throw. Got his man out of the backfield. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
This offense has their work cut out for them, man, because the coverage has been so tight. And if you're not throwing to the sideline or you're not getting past the sticks, this defense is going to tackle you inbounds like they just did on that last play and bleed the clock.
And it just squirted through his hands. He wanted to take off and got too anxious. Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's knocked away, and they don't convert on 4th down.
Listen, with the aggressiveness of offenses and taking chances, a lot of times it's going to put your defense in a hole. And this defense is going to have to come through in the clutch right here because you're trailing. They can't get more scores. They got to get a stop on this possession, and the offense is going to have to do better than they just did.
And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down.
In situations like this, offensively, when you got the lead in the fourth quarter, when you got to run the ball, you go back to the runs that you have the most confidence in, that you can execute in your sleep, and they do it right there, ripping off 7 yards.
You know, you start day one of training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a first down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. They're not sexy. They're not...
And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
I love those smashes where you can hear it up here, Reese. Goodness gracious, you can hear the contact. Such a big lick. The offensive guy doesn't hold on to the football. Huge momentum swing. Big turnover forced by the defense.
First down here for the offense. He's going to pass. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13.
I know this defense came into this game hoping to get pressure on the quarterback, but I don't know in their wildest dreams if they ever thought it was going to look this good. I lost track at 5 sacks. They have been all over this quarterback today.
And they're not on the same page there.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. Just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And they can't make the connection on 4th down, and they'll turn it over. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Line gets set, first down. Takes the handoff. It's Samuel.
And what you see late in games, man, those teams that can really run the football and run that clock when they got a lead, you really win a lot more football games. So I think you look for them to be physical down the stretch of this game, try to continue to do this on the ground, continue to eat that clock.
They drag him down, but not before he picks up a Clemson first down.
I love when players understand situations and they understand where the first down marker is and they understand where I got to get to. A lot of people you'll see run north-south and try to bounce out wide and make big plays. Sometimes it's not about making...
Touchdown, Clemson! And the stomping has commenced. That's what finishing the deal looks like. Build the lead in the fourth quarter and close in on 11 straight victories. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. Utah delivered a masterpiece performance today and gave notice to the rest of college football. This is a team that can win anywhere, anyway against just about any opponent. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the second half. Here's 1st and 10. And the shot to the middle of the field falls to the turf.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You've got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. Oh, he can't hang on. That one was nearly picked off. Instead, he'll force a 4th down. The Gamecocks will call on their punt team. They've been busy out there to punt for the 5th time today. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. Give to the running back. That keeps the running game churning. Pick up a 5 to the 23. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Keep it on the ground. Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. Boy, could they use a conversion on 3rd and short from their own 24. Now on the option. Now the pitch. At the 45, on his way. A tremendous run. He was full bore after taking that pitch. Just sweet execution.
How about the explosive play by this offense? Man, it's so nice to have guys you can hand the football off and just watch him work. Watch him do the rest, the speed, making big plays, breaking tackles. Man, is it nice to have an offense with a playmaker like that.
And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want to do. Late in the ball game with the lead, establish the run, establish the physicality. And you know what helps? That clock up there, it continues to tick. So let's see if they choose to keep the ball on the ground and stay conservative and run that clock.
The give as they work on that clock. Looks as if Clemson will have the 1st down.
All right, nothing flashy there. He just did what it took to get the 1st down.
They have declared their intentions on this drive, keeping it on the ground. It's 1st and 10 again. Now they'll run it on the toss. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. 2nd down coming up. He'll pull it on the read. Pass the sticks, and he may get more. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup.
Well, this is one of the fastest quarterbacks in college football, and that's why the option's a good idea. Because if he can get out in space and he has a chance to get downfield, he is really difficult to tackle, and he's very difficult to catch. As you saw in that last play, getting a 1st down.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like, just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they've built this lead. They've had a great day today.
So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation.
Okay, break.
There is a long and storied history of great games between these two rivals, and this chapter